Hello everyone. In this PowerPoint presentation, I'm going to talk about my literature review. The title of my literature review is an examination of online instructional design that promotes student engagement, motivation, and self-regulation. This literature review focuses on instructional design frameworks, models, and rubrics that can assist instructional designers in developing good quality online courses that promote, as I mentioned before, student engagement, motivation, and self-regulation. So let's deconstruct my literature review title. First, I'm going to talk about e-learning since I'm focusing on online education and specifically on virtual learning environments, or VLEs for short. According to Piccoli, Ahmed, and Ives, 2001, VLEs can be defined as learning environments that are supported with technology and allow students to interact with the instructor and each other and access various resources. Also, VLEs don't have time or geographical constraints. This means that students can access the instruction anytime and anywhere. VLEs offer a variety of resources and technology tools for instructors to effectively implement and facilitate the instruction, and for students to communicate with the instructor and peers, and opportunities for personalization. The next key phrase is online instructional design. This concept is broad, but based on the literature that I reviewed, I decided to include the following concepts that represent online instructional design: assimilation theory, e-learning engagement design, universal design, rubrics, and eclecticism. Baldwin, 2019, defines assimilation theory in the context of online instructional design as the adaptation process of instructional methods and techniques used by instructors in their traditional face-to-face courses to their online courses. Basically, instructors follow the same instructional design principles that they use in their face-to-face traditional courses when they develop their online courses. E-learning engagement design, ELED, is a design framework that was created by Zerkowski and Lyman III, 2016, and consists of four main phases that help increase student engagement in online courses. These phases are: number 1, analysis of instructional needs; number 2, identification of course objectives and goals; number 3, design and development of learning activities; and the last, number 4, implementation of summative assessment. This design framework is not new and based on the analysis of the literature review. Rao et al., 2015, defined universal design as a design framework that offers instructors guidelines on how they can create an instruction for diverse learners and support those learners regardless of whether these learners have disabilities or not. I decided to include rubrics because they are often used to evaluate the effectiveness and efficiency of online instructional design. The last concept is eclecticism. I refer to the idea of using a variety of instructional design frameworks and models rather than being focused on one particular framework and apply it to every instructional situation. The last three keywords represent a series of aspects that are very important in online instructional design. Many instructors who design their online courses wonder whether their students will be engaged and motivated, and whether they will be to self-regulate their learning and successfully complete the course. When I reviewed the literature, the term engagement was oftentimes associated with interaction. This interaction can be viewed as interaction between students and the instructor, as interaction between students, and as interaction between students and the course content. The idea of interaction further develops in the community of inquiry and Wenger's community of practice frameworks. Motivation was also frequently mentioned as one of the important factors in online instructional design. Dubey and Piroska, 2019, even indicated that lack of motivation can influence high attrition rates in online courses. In the reviewed literature, motivation was associated with intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation refers to the idea that a person completes the task because of his innate satisfaction or positive inner emotions that he will receive after task completion, while extrinsic motivation encourages the person to complete the task because of actual reward or recognition. The last keyword in this series is self-regulation. Self-regulation is critical in online education since e-learning is based on the constructivist learning theory that will be described in the next slide. Now, let's talk about the theoretical foundations of e-learning. According to Eom and Ashel, 2016, e-learning is rooted in the constructivist learning theory. This indicates that learners construct their knowledge rather than being told what to learn and how. Another important point is that learners construct their knowledge through the independent discovery process, at their own pace and time. This means that they're self-directed and self-regulated in their learning. The constructivist learning theory has other theories that represent its extension. These theories, collaborativism and the cognitive information processing theory, are also reflected in e-learning. The theory of collaborativism underlines the interaction aspect that was previously described, and the cognitive information processing theory relates to the importance of matching the unique learning styles that students have with the appropriate instructional methods. Also, as it became clear, e-learning is not supported by the objectivist or behaviorist learning theories. I reviewed research from 2001 to 2019, and most of the research was implemented during 2016. After I analyzed the articles that were published in 2016, I concluded that many studies focused on student engagement in online courses, and these studies specifically explored various types of interaction in online learning. Research that was published between 2001 and 2010 primarily focused on general aspects of online instructional design and on how these aspects can be effectively assessed. The latest research has a diverse range of topics, and one of the popular topics is about using mobile devices in online courses. Most studies that I reviewed offered qualitative research approaches or literature review analysis. And this means that more mixed method approach studies are necessary to balance the study results, and it will be especially beneficial to increase the use of quantitative approaches. Also, I observed that the researchers mostly use surveys and interviews to collect their data. So the application of other data collection methods might help better triangulate the data and increase validity and reliability of study results. The population samples for many studies were not randomly selected, and this might potentially minimize generalizability of study results. Only a few articles mention instructional designers in general terms. Since instructional designers are oftentimes qualified and trained to develop instructional interventions, it's important to investigate their practices and assess their perceptions about online instructional design. Also, I reviewed a few instructional design frameworks, models, and rubrics, and they offered only conceptual notations. So it would be enriching for the instructional design field to examine the effectiveness in practice through conducting empirical research. The last 4 slides display my references, and I tried to make the font readable on the screen. So that's it. Thank you for watching this. Let me know if you have any questions, and I look forward to your feedback.